Okay, so outcome 3. Number 1, it says factorize 3x squared plus 12x. So I know I could divide 3 and 12 by 3, and I can divide x squared and x by x. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. X squared divided by x to the first power is x to the first power, because when you divide these powers, you have to subtract these two numbers, or minus. Plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. X divided by x cancels each other's out. So the last thing that I do, the last step, is I take this factor and I put it before the bracket. So my answer is 3x times x plus 4. Number 2, so I have this quadratic equation. So the first step is I have to take these two numbers and multiply them together, and they should give me this number over here. So this is correct. I have 2 times 15. Does it give me this number here, 30? Yes. 5 times 6 gives me 30, and 1 times 30 equals 30. So these all multiply and give me 30. And the next step I have to do is I have to take these two numbers and add them together, and they should give me the number in the middle, right? So 3 plus 10 equals 13. So this is correct. 2 plus 15 gives me 7. So this is not the same as the 13 here. So C is wrong. 5 plus 6 gives me 11. Wrong. 1 plus 30 gives me 31. So the only correct answer is letter A. 4x plus 14, I want to factorize it. I know I could divide 2 and 14 by 2. Or sorry, 4 and 14 by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. I bring down the x. 14 divided by 2 is 7. I put this in brackets and I put the factor before it. Next one, I have 6x plus 18. I know I could divide 6 and 18 by 6. You know, I could divide it by 3. And I could divide it by 2. But we want to divide it by the biggest number that we can divide it by. So 6 divided by 6, or 6x divided by 6 is x. 18 divided by 6 is 3. I bring the 6 before the bracket. Negative 8x plus 12. So anytime I'm factorizing and there's a negative before the variable and the coefficient, so before the letter and the number, we want to try to take this negative out, right? So we're going to divide by, let's see, what's the biggest number? We could divide both of these numbers by 4, but I'm going to divide by negative 4 because I want to take this negative out of the bracket. So negative 8x divided by negative 4 is 2x, plus 12 divided by 4 is 3. I'm going to take the negative 4 and put it before the bracket. Okay, so with this question, they didn't factor out the negative. So let me do this again. So negative 8x divided by 4 is going to give me negative 2x, right? And negative divided by a positive is negative. 12 divided by 4 is 3. I'm going to put the plus 4 over here, and this is the same as this over here. I don't like this question. It really should be negative 4 and 2x minus 3. Okay, number 6, 6m squared plus 16m. I know I could divide both of these numbers by 2. And I also could divide m squared and m by m. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, m squared divided by m to the first power. Don't forget I subtract these two numbers. M plus 16 divided by 2 is 8. M divided by m cancels each other out. I'm going to put the 2m before the bracket. So when I have a power outside of the bracket, I have to multiply these. So 4 times negative 3 is a to the negative 12th power. And anytime I have a negative power, so here you have to use the reciprocal. So I want to make this positive. The only way I can make it positive is if I put 1 over a to the 12th power. That would be my answer. So for example, another example, if I have x to the negative 3rd power, this equals 1 over x to the positive 3rd power. Simplify 42m to the 12th power divided by 7m to the 6th power. So 42 divided by 7 gives me 6. M to the 12th power divided by m to the 6th power. Don't forget, when we divide, we have to subtract these two numbers here, or the two exponents. So m to the 12th power divided by m to the 6th power is m to the 6th power. So number 9, don't forget, if there's no power here, there really is a hidden 1. So I'm going to multiply 6 times 10 is going to give me 60. Then I'm going to do a to the 8th power times a to the 3rd power. Don't forget, we add these two numbers together. 8 plus 3 is 11. Now I'm going to do b to the 1st power times b to the 4th power. Don't forget, I add these two numbers. So 1 plus 4 is 5. So when I want to put this into scientific notation, I'm just going to put the decimal place that's really over here in between these two digits over here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had to move my decimal place 8 times to the left. So my answer is going to be 3.523. All the other zeros I could just erase, times 10 to the 8th power. So now this one is already in scientific notation. We want to put it into standard form. So if I have times 10 to the 5th power, I'm just going to move my decimal 5 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And any gaps or spaces, I'm going to put a 0. So my answer is 765,200. 0.037. I want to put this in scientific notation. I have to put the decimal in between the 3 and the 7. So I'm going to move it 2 times to the right. So my answer is going to be 3.7 times 10 to the negative 2nd power, because I moved it to the right. Or just think, if I have a really small number, my power is going to be negative. Here I have a big number, so my power is going to be positive. So when I'm multiplying, remember what I said, I have times 10 to the 5th power times 10 to the negative 3rd power. I have to add these together. So 5 plus minus 3 is going to give me 2. So I know that's going to be times 10 to the 2nd power. And now I have 3.4 and 1.2. I have to multiply them together. So 3.4 times 1.2, 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. Now that I've finished with the ones place, I'm just going to put a 0 or an X. And now that I'm starting with the tens place, I have to start from here. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm going to add these together. 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. 3 plus 1 is 4. And now the last step is I had to move my decimal place 1 time here and 1 time here. So that's a total of 2 times. So I'm going to move my decimal place 2 times to the left. So my answer is 4.08 times 10 to the 2nd power. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Or just think already from the beginning, I already know that my decimal place, if I move it 1 time here and 1 time here, in my answer I have to move it 2 times. So this one is subtraction minus, so I could just, it's better if I do it like this. So if times 10 is both to the same power, right, to the 6th power, these are like terms, so I just bring it down here, right? I don't have to do anything else with that. And here I have 7.4 minus 3.2, so 4 minus 2 is 2, 7 minus 3 is 4. My answer is 4.2 times 10 to the 6th power. So when you're minusing or subtracting or adding, right, if this is to the same power, then everything is okay. It's easy to do. The next one, this is to the 7th power, this is to the 4th power. So this is a problem. So what I want to do is I want to change this to times 10 to the 7th power. So how do I do that? I have 3.01 times 10 to the 4th power. If I want to make it times 10 to the 7th power, the difference between 7 and 4 is 3, right? So I have to move my decimal place 3 times to the left. So times 10 to the 4th, times 10 to the 5th, times 10 to the 6th power, times 10 to the 7th power. So I moved it 3 times, so 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 0.00301 times 10 to the 7th power. So now I have 5.2 times 10 to the 7th power. I'll write it over here like this. And 0.00301 times 10 to the 7th power. So these are like terms, so I just bring it down. It's the same thing. And I'll just add these together. So my answer is 5.20301 times 10 to the 7th power. 6 times 10 to the 6th power divided by 2 times 10 to the 3rd power. So I know when I'm dividing these powers, I have to subtract them. So it's going to be times 10 to the 3rd power. 6 minus 3 is 3, and then 6 divided by 2 is 2. Or sorry, 3. This one is easy. 4.1 5.5. They're both times 10 to the 6th power. So I'll bring this down. 1 plus 5 is 6. 4 plus 5 is 9. This one, same thing. 7.7 times 10 to the 2nd power. 3.1 times 10 to the 2nd power. I add these together. These are like terms, so they're the same. 7 plus 1 is 8. 7 plus 3 is 10. So here I have a little problem. My answer is 10.8 times 10 to the 2nd power. This number over here should be in between in between 1 and 10. This is more than 10, so this is a problem. How do I make it less than 10? How do I make it smaller than 10? I have to move my decimal place one time to the left. Now it's 1.08 times 10. Because I moved it one time to the left, it's times 10 to the 3rd power. So don't forget, this number over here has to be smaller than 10, from 1 to 10, less than 10. So say, for example, if I have 3, let's say 34.2 times 10 to the 3rd power. This is wrong. It has to be smaller than 10. So I have to move this over here. If I moved it here, this is going to change to 10 times 10 to the 4th power. Next one. I don't think this is going to come on the exam, but if you see the word letter, think of variable. An algebraic expression has numbers, letters, or variables, and operations. These are operations, right? Multiply, subtract, divide, add. I don't think this will come on the exam, but 3x plus 2x minus 1z. So these over here are called terms. They're separated by addition or subtraction. So this is a term. If I have a variable or a letter, x, and there's a number behind it, that is called my coefficient. So number 23, I have to use BODMAS. So when I'm solving these expressions or simplifying them, I have to, my first step is start with the brackets. Next step, order or powers. So the next step is going to be division or multiplication, whatever comes first from left to right. And my last step is going to be addition or subtraction, whatever comes first from left to right. So 4 times 5 minus 2 plus 4. I have to start with multiplication. 20 minus 2 plus 4. 20 minus 2 is 22 plus 4 equals 20. What did I do wrong? Sorry. 20 minus 2 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. Next one. I always have to start with my brackets. 9 plus 4 is 13 times 2 plus 3. 13 times 2, I do multiplication next, is 26. 26 plus 3 is 29. Next one, 2 times. So I have to do what's in my bracket first. And within my bracket, I have to do the power first, because the power comes before multiplication. So 3 squared equals 3 times 3, which equals 9. It is not 3 times 2. That's wrong. So 3 squared, 9 times 5. I'm going to do this bracket first. 9 times 5 is 45. 2 times 45 minus 5. 2 times 45 is 90. 90 minus 5 equals 85. The next one, 30 minus 5 times 2 to the third power minus 15. So I'm going to do my bracket first. Within my bracket, I'm going to do the power. So 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 equals 8. So 5 times 8 minus 15. 5 times 8 is 40. I have to finish what's in my bracket. 40 minus 15 is 25. 30 minus 25 equals 5. 27 is asking me to solve. So I have to get x in the bottom. It has to equal a number. So I'm going to combine these like terms. Before the x, there's always a 1 if there's no coefficient or no number. 1x plus 3x is 4x minus 2x is 2x. 2x equals 12. I divide by 2 to get x by itself. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Z divided by 16 equals 18. Or 8, sorry. Always under this or a whole number is really 1. So I'm just going to cross multiply. Z or Z times 1 is Z. 8 times 16. So even if you don't know what 8 times 16 is, which is it's 128, I know that 8 times 16 is definitely not 24. That's too small. 8 times 16 is not 2. It's too small. And 8 times 16 cannot equal 100. So even if I don't know what it is, I know that would be my answer. Or if I really wanted to multiply, I could do it like this. 6 times 8 is 48. I put the 8 here plus 4 here. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. Negative 48 equals negative 6a. I'm going to divide by negative 6 to get the a by itself. Negative 48 divided by negative 6 is 8. Don't forget, a negative divided by a negative equals a positive. Number 30. There's two ways I could do this. I'll show you the easiest way first. So x plus y equals 5. This one is the easier equation. I'm going to take my x and my 1. I'm going to substitute it into the equation. So my x equals 4, my y equals 1. 4 plus 1 equals 5. So this means the solution is right. Say, for example, if I did C, x plus y equals 5. Over here it says negative 4. And it says y is 1. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 does not equal 5. So this is wrong. I could do that. Or if I really want to solve this the correct way, 3x minus y equals 11. X plus y equals 5. I want y by itself or x by itself. You could choose whatever one you want. Here I'm going to try to get y by itself. So I'm going to take this 3x, put it here. Negative y equals 11 minus 3x. I'm going to divide by a negative 1 to get this negative out of the way. Right? So 11 divided by negative 1 is negative 11. Negative 3x divided by negative 1 is plus 3x. Here, doesn't matter. I'll get y by itself again. I'll put the x here. Y equals 5 minus x. So now I have two y values. I could substitute this 5 minus x and put it over here. Or, yeah, I'll do this. Actually, you know what? I'll take this negative 11 plus 3x and put it here. So I'll take this minus x, I'll put it here, it's going to become plus x. I'll take the minus 11, put it here, it's going to be plus 11. 3x plus 1x is 4x. 11 plus 5 is 16. Divided by 4, x equals 4. So my x equals 4. Now I want to get my y. I could choose this equation or this equation, it doesn't matter. I'll choose this one because it's easier. Y equals 5 minus x. I'll put this x, the 4 over here. So my y equals 5 minus 4 is 1. Just erase this. I'll do the next one quickly. So 2x plus y equals 16. I'll put the 2x here. Y equals 16 minus 2x. The next equation, 4x minus y equals 2. I'm going to put the 4x over here. Negative y equals 2 minus 4x. I'm going to divide by negative 1. Y equals negative 2. Negative divided by negative is a positive, plus 4x. So now I'll take this negative 2 plus 4x and put it instead of the y. Take this 2x, put it here, plus 2x. Take the minus 2, put it here. It's going to be plus 2. 4x plus 2x equals 6x. 16 plus 2 equals 18. I divide it by 6, divide by 6, x equals 3. I'll take the same 3 and plug it in for the x here. Y equals negative 2 plus 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 2 plus 12 is going to give me 10. X equals 3 and y equals 10. Next one, I'll try to go quicker now. We did this before. So I have 5 and 19. If I multiply it together, it does not give me 24. So I know that's wrong. If I take this 3 and I multiply it by 8, it gives me negative 24. So this might be right. We'll check. Negative 8 plus 3, negative 8 times 3 is going to give me negative 24. So this one could be okay. And I know negative 19 times 5 is not negative 24. So this is wrong. So how am I going to check which one of these is right? I'm going to take the negative 3 and I'm going to add 8. Negative 3 plus 8 is 5. And I'll take this negative 8 and I'll add 3. It's going to give me negative 5. So which one matches what's in the middle? B. Same thing here, I'll do it again. So we're going to try to multiply stuff, these two numbers, to get 40. Negative 10 times 4 equals negative 40. So this is okay. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. So this is okay. 10 times negative 4 equals 40. So, negative 40. So this is okay. And positive 8 times negative 5 is going to give me negative 40. Now we have to add these together. Negative 10 plus 4 gives me negative 6. Negative 8 plus 5 gives me negative 3. 10 minus 4 gives me 6. 8 minus 5 gives me 3. So which one matches this minus 6 or negative 6? A. Okay, so x squared plus 13x plus 12 equals 0. So I know 12 times 1 gives me 12, and 12 plus 1 gives me 13. So that's okay. So when I set these equal to 0, right, x plus 12 equals 0, I'm going to take the plus 12 and put it here. It's going to become minus 12. X equals negative 12. X plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to take this plus 1, put it here. X equals negative 1. So my two solutions are negative 12 and negative 1. So don't forget, this and this are both the same thing. Number 35, y equals x plus a. I want x by itself. So I have to take the a and move it over here. It's going to become minus a. X equals y minus a. Y equals x plus 3 over a. I want x by itself. So I like to cross multiply first. So 1 times x plus 3 is x plus 3. Y times a is ya. Now I want x by itself, so I have to take this plus 3 and move it here. It's going to become minus 3. X equals ya minus 3. This is the same thing as ay minus 3. Ay, same thing. So it's a. Number 37, s equals wa. I'll put this over 1. 1 times w is w. A times s is sa. So b. Number 38, make b the subject of the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I want b by itself. You guys should know this is Pythagoras' theorem. If you don't remember, we use this when we have a right triangle and we have a and b and we want c, or we have a and c and we want b. I want b to be the subject of the formula, so I take this a squared and I move it here. It's going to become minus a squared. B squared equals c squared minus a squared, right? So if I want b by itself, right, I have to take the square root of b squared, but I also have to take the square root of c squared and a squared. So b equals the square root of c squared minus a squared. And this is the answer keys, if you want to go over it just in case I got something wrong.